Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing start to your Tuesday. I do apologize for the delay. I know I'm 8 minutes behind. I'm going to give it a couple seconds and explain kind of what was going on. But it just had to do with me having to manage something in the Tech But Solutions chat, just like some spam. So I do really apologize for that. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the TD Ameritrade platform. Here we go. But I hope you guys are all having an amazing start to your day. We can see that you guys is trading in between the middle and top VWAP as of right now. It doesn't mean that it's going to do this for the remainder of the day. We're getting a nice little push up. Let me go ahead and keep a quick little eye on it. I want to congratulate all those that were able to successfully trade, what's it called? It looks like Gush is making higher highs, and it looks like it peaked out at $47. So if we look at the 180-day analysis, it's almost exactly the same peak that it had last time. So it just made in a sense higher highs. Also, there's another one. It's WTI. So WTI completing this full-on reversal. It's been uptrending again. This is a very similar pattern to Gush. So when Gush goes up, so this one shares a very similar pattern. And there was one more. I think it was Shop. Shop is still showing signs of an uptrend. I'm currently still invested in this one, so I'm up about $200 now on the open. My overall position size, if you guys take it into consideration, is honestly not that much. It's or not that much in comparison to what it normally is. We can see that it's pushing right back up again. Probably one of the easiest trades for me to understand that I've taken this entire week, right? It's only been 2 days. I'm very proud of this specific trade. And the reason why is because it was kind of like by the books. I invested in something that was actively trending up. I waited for the pullback confirmation, yesterday. I didn't even wait for the best entry. I waited for it to reverse right back up so I can go on the 1 day, 1 minute chart so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So yesterday it sold off, it got rejected, it sold off, it broke above the SMA, right? It broke above the EMA, it broke above the middle VWAP, and then I still gave it more chance to go up, and then I chose to take a position. I was so relaxed with that entry, and that was probably one of the just most refreshing positions I've taken in a while. And as you guys can see, it's definitely pushing up right now. I'm considering of covering profits. I'm up 120 on the day, 215 on the open, so that means on my overall position. Based on previous patterns, there's a resistance right around this area. So it wouldn't be a horrible idea to lock in profits and see if it sells off. As we're approaching at more of a resistance, it doesn't mean that it's going to peak out, but it just means that it has potential to peak out, right? So let's go ahead and go here. Morning, Billy. Morning, Chad. What's going on, guys? I love swinging trading shop. I think one thing that I've been doing very poorly last week was I was almost forcing, and I started it off really bad as well, was I was almost forcing my trades on some positions that definitely were not showing signs of an uptrend. And that was something that I don't know. I don't know why I was doing it. I don't know why I was forcing my position when there are so many stocks Gush, right? There was Gush that was actively trending up. And if we go on the 180-day analysis, there's a bunch of them. PSTG, OEN, or ON, right? Gush, SRCI, NTNX. All of these have been non-stop actively trending up. Every single stock that I've been able to talk about or cover, LABU, right? Shop. LPX did pull back a little bit today, but it's still been green nonstop, right? Ticker symbol Z, right? Sale, right? It's been showing signs of an uptrend. And then I decide to invest in something that's descending. And how many of you guys have ever felt the same way? Like when you guys review your trades and you're just like, what the heck? Why did I even take a position? Why was I so hard-headed to take a position on the only one in my watch list that was not actively trending up? And based on my experience, it has to be due to just convenience. I trade you guys. It's almost just a habit of trading it week after week. And it is something that, it is something like Drip 2.0. It was something that we were doing with Drip, right? Or I don't know if some of you guys have a specific stock that trades like this, right? That you experience that it has like, that same kind of like, you always invest in it, but sometimes you always ask yourself after like, what the heck, like why did I even invest in it? Honestly, because it's descending after this position, and you'll see, like after I sell, watch it like reverse back up, and it's gonna continue to uptrend. But I just need to really like, and this is an area of opportunity for myself that I'm explaining to you, like something that I still need to work on. That I need to become much more disciplined with just focusing on stocks that are actively trending up, and not just because I've done well with them or that I can potentially do well with them because I can like day trade them, that I need to force my trade on you guys. How much more relaxed is it to with a 50% position of what my normal positions are, that I could be up $200 in one day, right? Less than 24 hours, I'm up over $200, and it's like 50% to 40% of what my normal position size is. That means I could have been up 500, maybe 600, right? All within one day, right? And again, it's just setting up yourself for success. And yep, 100%. Let's be respectful, Jay. I can't have you say anything like that. So I hope that that's not too much to ask. But yeah, let's be respectful. But yeah, so as of right now, we see that it's pushing up. What I'm going to end up doing is, if when it pushes up again, I'm going to put my sell order. I'm going to sell 100% of my position. And I'm going to be selling at around this area of like the 58.26. So we'll see if it even gets to that area again. It looks like it's been kind of consolidating, almost making lower lows, so I might have to sell a little bit lower and stuff like that. So I'm going to have to exit that position. I'm down a couple $100 on it, so I'm going to focus on that and focus less on the dollar value that I'm down. And I know that we will recover it this week, right? It was a small little mistake, a small little hiccup, right, for this week, and something that I'll definitely have to improve on. So yeah, how many of you guys are doing very well because you're focusing on stocks that are actively trending up? I want to see like how many of you guys are invested in something like Gush, ON, PSTG. How many of you guys this week, or just even last week, we've been focusing a lot on stocks that are actively trending up, right? And just focusing on that. How many of you guys have like been much more relaxed and less like anxious, right, to day trade because you're doing so much better? Doing a lot better. I'm up PSTG, me. Okay, horizontal, really, really, really well. Okay, appreciate that. Nice, nice. H2Z, okay. And how many of you guys are not just doing better, but feel that much more confident with your trades? That's the most important part, because sometimes anyone can get lucky. How many of you guys feel like, I want you to respond one of two things: that you're getting lucky, that you still don't feel extremely confident, and feel free to share it, because that's the only way that we are going to improve. Or how many of you guys actually understand? So like, how many of you guys like actually have an understanding of or are confident? So let's respond confident or lucky. Bradley saying confident. I'm losing my tail. Feeling better. That's from Megan. I like that. Quality trades. I like that. Okay. Confident, confident. So lucky, confident, 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 confident. Unlucky, not confident. Okay. And what I want to do is, for all those that, first of all, for all those that commented that you guys are now confident, for all those that are feeling first lucky, if it's just give me until, like right now it's 6:47. I have a bunch of messages that I have to catch up on. So I want to make sure that I'm going to go through my first set of messages, so all of them, within 2 hours after this live stream ends. Give me 2 hours to completely answer all the messages. I'm going to take a 30-minute break because I'm going to be probably frustrated at the end of that. And then after, for those that said lucky, if you guys can direct message me, just saying You guys can put lucky, and then I want you to direct message me. What is it that you are looking at trading this week? Just put your ticker, your call out format. I want to see what it is that you see value in this week, and that is what I'm going to work with you on a closer basis on. A lot of people are saying that they're having issues like, calling out their stocks and stuff like that. I need to see how it is that you're identifying value so then I can assist you with that. So I hope that that's not too much to ask. For all those that are very confident and have, made a transition from, just getting lucky to actually, understanding what you're investing in, I want to congratulate you. I think when that light clicked for me, right? When that light just went off and it made sense to me with the technicals and understanding the very simple concept of just focusing on getting in at a good deal, focusing on whatever's actively trending up, and making sure that you just have to stay extremely patient. That is one of the best feelings, and that is what we want in our entire community to feel. Is that not right? Just imagine this. Just imagine everyone being able to understand how to successfully invest in the stock market and focus on quality picks. The overall potential and quality of information being shared within our group chats would be that much great. I would be that much greater. I've seen a lot of reviews for those that have your affiliate links, and you guys promote the course through YouTube. But I hear a lot of your guys' reviews that you guys share on YouTube talking about that, hey, 50% of the value of the course comes from the group chat. And just imagine this. I mean, there's still part of the group chat that is still somewhat, getting started. We've been able to minimize them to stop asking so many FAQs, but just imagine everyone, the thousands of people within Learn Plan Profit, to be able to fully understand, what we're investing in. And that is what's going to, I think really take us to the next level as a community. Because if our entire community understands how to successfully to identify good deals, that is one of the most valuable resources that we can utilize. Because then we can freely share ideas that make sense. So and that's the goal, and I hope that you guys can really see that. Going through the course is to provide the foundation and the general understanding, but it's not until you practice, it's not until you network, it's not until you watch live trading that it's all going to click, at least based on a lot of feedback that I've received. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to take a look at this one real quick. Let's see. If we get a little bit closer to that top VWAP, I'm going to set an alert. Let's look at Gush. Gush is still trending up, so it's still showing signs of an uptrend. All right. Everything. All of these are still trending up. Okay. I'm trying to see. Oh, selling off. A nice little sell off right here at the SMA line. LABU, in my honest opinion, I think it's way overextended. Look at the 180-day analysis. Can you guys see why this looks like more of it being on the oversold side? It's too early to tell to go to the inverse. Wow. That thing's sold off. It's too early to tell to what's it called, to see if LABU or LABD is gonna reverse up. But all I'm saying is right now this is kind of where I take my hands off and not touch either LABU or LABD, just because of how volatile or how risky it can be, because it's still kind of deciding if it's going to go up or if it's going to go down. Does that make sense? So I kind of consider that like a handoff territory. Yeah, WTI shooting up. If that thing's shooting, I wouldn't say it's shooting up. There it goes. Yeah, WTI is still showing signs of an uptrend, very aggressively pushing up. Again, it is becoming a little bit more on the overbought side, obviously, so not so much of a good deal. Again, don't force your entry. If you don't see that it's reversing back up, then no need to trade it. So. Correct. Yep. JDST, I did get a alert that it was going up today. Okay, there we go. So it's starting to show signs of a potential reversal. I still think it's a little bit too early to tell. The MACD indicator, the RSI, all that looks good. It sold off very nicely. It was below the EMA line. It's now showing signs of a potential reversal. I would still treat it a little bit more as a day trade. If you go in for a swing trade, that's up to you, 100%. And this does show a kind of a similar pattern to what it did last time, and then it popped right back up. If you feel confident on the reversal, just make sure that you take into consideration the /GC pattern, and taking that into consideration on that is also trending down, because if that's trending down, then yeah, it would make more sense that this thing would start trending up. But as of right now, I think it's a little bit too early to tell, in my opinion. Yeah. And that's how I've been feeling. So I haven't been touching, or I haven't been trading, if you guys have been seeing JDST and JNUG too often, just because they're not very horizontal patterns as of right now. They're kind of all over the place, and because of that, it's just a pattern that I'm not too familiar with when it comes down to trading JNUG or JDST. So I tend to, take my hands off of those specific positions because they don't meet my certain criteria or style of investing. It doesn't mean that you have to do that as well. It just means that some people might really like that trading style. So as long as the overall candles continue to hold above this EMA line, I think that's what's really important. We can also set an alert to get alerted if it starts to sell off. Then it might not be the best trade. So on the 1 day 1 minute chart, it just broke below that middle VWAP, so it's still selling off right now. So we'll have to see if it continues to sell off or if it begins to reverse back up. Okay, so not much movement going on as of right now. On the 180-day analysis, we can see that it's still trying to trend up, right? The EMA line as of right now it is still holding below the candles, right? The candles are still above the EMA line. It is pulling back a little bit. We have no confirmation of like a full-on bounce, but that's definitely something that we'll have to wait out for. The MACD indicator is not in its favor. It's showing signs of a potential downtrend. So I would wait a little bit more for a confirmation that it's actively trending up. We can set a series of alerts, around $26 or $26.50, wherever it is that you feel comfortable, but it's showing some signs of indication of an uptrend. All right, can I break down Z? I really like this specific pattern. It's a very slow moving stock, and I know that. And the margin of profit isn't huge, but I think it's very consistent. And because of that, I really like it. So give me one quick second. I'm getting really annoyed with this specific pattern. I think I'm just going to sell out. 1 second. Let's see. All right, ticker symbol Z. As of right now, again, it's not really moving up. Now we're back above the SMA indicator, which is good, showing signs again of a potential uptrend. We're holding above this EMA indicator on the 180-day 4-hour chart, so that's really good. So we got a nice little sell-off yesterday, right? We got a nice little sell-off, and then we got a nice little push-up. Sorry if that was loud. I know that could have been quite loud for our headphone users. And one thing that I would look out for is, it's definitely showing signs of a potential uptrend. I would just set an alert for it to start making higher highs intraday, and then I would look a little bit more for a confirmation around that. So, it looks like shop is selling off. Wow, it definitely sold off quite a bit. So there it goes. So again, that would have been the ideal price point to sell. Most likely, we would expect a bounce right around this area. So we'll see what happens there. What's going on, Brian? Twitter. So Twitter with a nice little sell-off. This one was brought up yesterday. I don't think that it's a good deal. I still think that it's doing a lot of consolidation. And if anything, it's been making lower highs. So I wouldn't necessarily find that to be the most attractive. So yeah, I would kind of like stay away from this specific pattern. The MACD isn't reversing back up. The RSI is not pointing up. So nothing in that I've seen when it comes down to indication for Twitter is showing signs of an uptrend as of right now with recent patterns. Yes, it's been trending up, but it also it's almost like reached a peak formation, right? And that's definitely something that we want to consider before we choose to take an actual position. Alrighty. So strong downward pattern. I think we could all see that, and it looks like it's kind of peaking out already. So the MACD is coming back down, and so is the RSI. So I wouldn't see this one to be the best deal as of right now. Did shop already bounce? Wow, that's very aggressive. All right. I like it. I like it. Hey Ricky, how do you set an alert on the MacBook Pro? It's all shared for you in the course. So all you have to do is right click and then click create alert. USLV. Okay. Still showing signs of a downtrend. I don't find this one to be that attractive as of right now. It is, it is trying to recover from the sell-off that it had. So I do see this, potentially to move back up. I just think with overall just patterns and direction, like this isn't necessarily something that like we want to talk too much about just due to the, risk of pattern. But if it makes sense to you, then great. Okay, yeah, so that was ticker symbol USLV. Yeah, so shop is trying to show signs of recovery. It might get rejected by this EMA line, so watch out for that. It might get rejected by this EMA line or this middle VWAP for ticker symbol SHOP. The MACD indicator looks good now, starting to show signs back of an uptrend, so that's pretty attractive. It looks like you guys is trying to push right back up. We'll see if it could break above this EMA line. If it gets rejected, then we'll most likely continue to see it bleed. So we'll see what happens there. But I mean, I think it's pretty simple with like what is actively trending up. So PSTG looks a little overextended. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I really like ticker symbol ON. It has to be one of my favorite ones. Yeah, it definitely looks overextended today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert. And you can see this on the 180-day analysis that it's pretty far away from that EMA line. It does tend to pull back sometimes. So I would say a little bit closer to like 23.25 to 23.50 would be a little bit of a better entry just because of how overextended it is. The MACD indicator looks pretty stretched out as well. So I don't think that's too difficult to see. Ticker symbol sale. Again, we already talked about this one. We still need to wait for more of a bounce and for it to make higher highs. And then Z, although it is very slow moving, I really like how consistent and how true it stays above this EMA line. I think that's very attractive. LABU, again, very overextended. Ticker symbol AA, a little bit more on the resistance side because of this SMA indicator, and it's acted as a resistance before, so it might get rejected there. Something that you might want to take into consideration. Is there any way to use TD Ameritrade with a Chromebook? I'm sure there is. I believe that you just have to download the software. So you guys can call TD Ameritrade to figure that out. REI from Will. Okay, so Will, do you see that it's definitely showing signs of an uptrend and it's having a really good day today, right? It's pushing up. Do you see why it might get rejected right around this SMA indicator? So based on previous patterns, it's been rejected at around this area before, and then it pulls back, and then it confirms, and it continues to push up. Well, based on previous patterns, I would say that again, this is an area because it's so overextended that the resistance might be too strong. It might pull back, consolidate, reverse back up, and then it might fulfill that break of resistance. But as of right now, I would see it to be a little bit more on the overbought side. I would see it in a good sell territory or good sell range, not necessarily a good buy range, in my opinion. Yeah, thank you again for that, Will. Okay, so PAA is still not trending above the SMA indicator. It normally does a pretty good job reversing back up and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alert for the break above $24. So nice call out there. The MACD, everything that's like the RSI and all that looks really good. So congrats on that. All right, let's see. It's trying. Oh, there we go. I'm going to sell. All right. Definitely not the best exit, but it's really frustrating to see everything else push up and me have to miss out on that opportunity because of myself being stuck in that specific position, right? So as of right now, just because of the break and the reversal here, it doesn't offer huge margins, but I like the pattern that it does have to offer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy 200 shares. It looks like it just sold off even more. So, all right, so we just got filled. The MACD indicator looks good. I like that the RSI is still pushing up. I like that, we're making higher highs and stuff like that. I find that to be very attractive. Yeah, are you out of the US swing trade too? No, but I'm probably going to have to, cut losses on that one. It looks like it just sold off even more, back to that $57 price point. So, just a little over the idea of having to hold something that wasn't necessarily actively trending up. So that was definitely my fault. All right, we'll see what happens here. Here we go. Where are we at? All right. So what ticker is this? This is ticker symbol SHOP. So it's Shopify. Yeah, Zachary, that's a pretty good question. So is there a reason that you don't put enough money in your account that you can have two full positions? I personally don't like having over $40,000 in my brokerage account. Every time that I hit over $40,000 at the end of the month, I end up, wow, Shopify is selling off quite a bit. But every time that I have over $40,000 at the end of the month, I pay myself down to $25,000. When you get over $25,000, when it comes down to tickers like this, like you can trade based off of margin. So I could take like $20,000 positions on, an ETF or something like that, and then I could probably take a $10,000 to $15,000 position on a stock. And altogether, I have like a $10,000 margin on top of what my normal position size is, and that's just fine. A lot of people always ask the question like, why don't I trade with $100,000 or a much larger position? I just like I did right now with you guys, my position was I think at around like $25,000 or something like that, around 20,000. And just think, I lost a couple $100 on that. So just imagine if my position size was, 100,000, right? I would have lost a couple $1,000, and that's not something that I'm comfortable with. So I'm here to trade based on like how I see value, and as I continue to refine myself as a trader, my account size will continue to grow. So, but until then, and I'm doing just fine with how it is that I'm trading. So I'd like to keep it that way. All right. So someone is talking about NTNX. Okay, had a really nice push, had a sell off, and then a really nice push up. Definitely. Just let's make sure that we could see that it's previously been rejected at around this area. So it looks to be like maybe a good sell territory. So let's not forget about that. Okay. Okay, I see ticker symbol HEAR to be much more on the overbought side. We've talked about this one multiple times before after it did its reverse stock split. I think that this stock is complete, manipulation. It had a huge push of volume, and then all of a sudden the volume starts to die out, and it continues to die out, week after week. So I would completely stay away from something like this. That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean anything to you if you don't see value in it. But yeah, I would completely stay away from that. So DP, DWDP, did anyone talk about that one right now? No. There we go. Okay, showing signs of this reversal. It has an ascending uptrend pattern that it normally has to offer. It's up 1.83% today. Really nice. It looks very overextended, so let's make sure that we note that. But now that it's actively trending up, we can now then add it to our watch list. So I'll just add it here just to keep an eye on it. Doesn't mean that I have to trade it at all, right? So it's right here. Yeah, so Hiroki, how come you aren't actively watching WTI? It seemed like that was one that you traded multiple times, but now it's about to hit its peak. Well, that is, you just kind of like answered your own question. So like, why is it that I might not be so obsessed with or interested in investing in WTI? It's because it's hit its peak. Like I liked it when it was down here because I found it to be a good deal. I found it to have a lot of uptrend margin. Now I find it to be, it's actively trading up, and that's great, but I find it to be much more on the overextended side, right? So not so much of a good deal, but if I were to buy now, there's a much higher risk of a sell-off than there is for profit. So because of that, I find that to be less attractive. That's great for all those that are already invested in it, but I'm not, right? So because of that, I would have to, stay away from it. So I hope that makes sense. That was for ticker symbol WTI. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that today, Jacob. So post a copy of your watch list. I'm not going to, I've talked about every single stock that's on my watch list. What I want to do is to compile a list of like 5, and then one that I see that it's actively trending up, that I'm most likely going to sell my position away from you guys and then focus on that one for my swing trade. So yeah. I don't know about you guys, but have you guys ever had like a day where yesterday was just a weird day for me. So very quickly, MSFT, very on the overbought side. Do you see that it normally gets rejected at around this area? So I like that you called it out. It just isn't in a good deal, right? So it's actively trending up. I'm so happy to hear that, or so happy to see that you're able to invest in something that's actively trending up. But do you see how it normally gets rejected within this area? It doesn't mean that it's going to, it just means that it normally does. And because of that pattern, I would have to say that this is more in the sell territory than buy territory. Again, it normally sells off and it consolidates right around the SMA line, and that's when I would find it to be more in the good deal range. All right. I sold WTI 8% and Gush 7% today. Ricardo, my guy, you're killing it. I want to share some profits with me. I'm having a horrible week. Start to the week. It's all good. There was one of these days that were needed anyways, right? To kind of slap you back into place or slap me back into place. So you guys is starting to try to show signs of a potential reversal. We'll see about that. Let's get a little bit more of a confirmation. You caught the trading bug. So UWT is definitely much more on the overbought side. It's the one that's actively trending up. And then DWT is the one that's a little bit more descending. I don't like investing in anything that's like this, right? So what I would say is for UWT, I still don't find it to be in the good deal range. So I would wait for a sell-off and then wait for the reversal on this. So definitely not a good buy when it comes down to overall patterns and understanding how oversold it is, how overbought it is. Of course. But exit at a profit. I've done that before. That's so funny. Okay, so it looks like JDST is selling off just a little bit. We're gonna set an alert for the potential reversal and then kind of go from there. Feel free to email Robinhood customer support. They should reset every 5 business days, not normal 5 days, but 5 business days. Solid, solid. Okay, wow, this thing's really struggling to break above that middle VWAP. Sam. Yep. We'll see this one more time. Let's see. Locked in ATOS, 3% profits. My issue was locked in profit. I like that. It's funny. Alright, there we go. Trying to reverse back up. Margin of profit. Not really worth it for me. Ticker symbol ON. DWDP. Wow. Okay. So I'll add WTI just so we can keep a close eye on it. But yeah, definitely a lot of volume. And you guys have to understand when something pushes up this aggressively, there's also like some form of like hype behind it, right? A lot of like, you know, ongoing momentum. So let's make sure that like once that momentum dies out and as we get more into like the, you know, like more into the market, right? When it comes down to the market hours, after like the first 2 to 3 hours, you'll see that the volume will really start to die out and the hype will die out and therefore, you know, it will start to sell off. So let's not get carried away. Let's make sure that we, you know, always consider the idea of locking in profits. And I know that's boring and I know that's not fun, but trust me, like, you know, again, like we say, like no one goes broke by locking in profits. So I don't think that that's a bad idea. So yeah, so ticker symbol DUST shows the same pattern, if I'm not mistaken, to JDST, right? So it's showing signs of a potential reversal. It has been selling off, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it shows a very similar pattern to JDST. So it's just different price ranges. So yeah. Yep. Alrighty. I'm gonna turn off the volume on my phone. Yeah. So any people that have or any of you guys that have any questions about like something that's going on with your brokerage and stuff like that, if it's not too much to ask, like you have to reach out to your brokerage. If you're having any issues with like Discord, then asking me like about the issues that you're having, like it's better just to reach out to Discord when it's account-based issues. Like if you don't know how to do something, then yes, you could reach out to us. But when it comes down to like you don't know your password or your email or it's not allowing you to confirm your account on or set up like real-time quotes, that's all something that you can just reach out to them for, and then they can better assist you. I see. All right, JDST just broke below support. Yeah, I'm not too sure why they would delete your account. I don't know if you broke one of their rules or one of their policy rules. I don't even know what you'd be able to break for them. I've never heard of them removing your account. Um, I don't know if it's a paper trading account and you only had it for 2 months, if that is it, or if it was a normal account. I don't know. Um, but definitely worth another call. Maybe you just got a bad representative and you can give them another call. So there we go. You guys just broke above the EMA line. We'll see if it continues to uptrend for a little bit more of a confirmation. So Ricky, when are you coming to Miami? I'm not too sure. I visit California. I'm going to fly out tomorrow. Oh, I actually have to tell you guys. I think I'll still be able to go live, but I'll be going live off of my computer, and I'm pretty sure the live stream is going to be like maybe 30 minutes, so it's going to be a little bit shorter. I'm just going to quickly recap on what I see value in, and that's going to be about it just for tomorrow. I'm going to be traveling to California. I'm going to be there for about 3 days. I'm going to be going live there, every day and stuff like that. But it's just the day of travel, which is going to be, tomorrow and then on Friday that I'm not going to be as active. So yeah. Now thinking about the gossip that I was going to talk about yesterday, I probably just shouldn't talk about it. Oh, 100%. Yeah. So, Austin, it's 100%. Like, that's why we encourage, and we used to do this a lot more when we first started, but definitely we encourage you. I think in the course, it tells you to complete the entire course. You'll understand a lot more, right, of the basic concepts. And then when it comes down to live trading, you'll have a much better understanding. Honestly, also, Austin, if like the team agrees with me, this week has been pretty like weird. Even the last couple of days of last week, it's been very weird with like my trading. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. It's not normally like that. The beginning of last week was definitely like very exciting and stuff like that. It's just been I've been a little bit like I don't know what's been going on with me. I've been like kind of yesterday was one of the weirdest days that I've had in a while. I just felt very tired. I almost felt sick. So I went to bed early. But yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to be in Los Angeles, I'm going to be in Orange County, and then I'm going to be in the San Diego area. But I have meetings in every single city that I'm going to. So I'm there for the 3 days, but I have to meet up with 6 different people. So 6 as of right now, and there's more people that are being added to the list. So I probably won't have time to meet up. It was about Joel, wasn't it? No, it wasn't about Joel at all. It was about more like, yeah, no, it wasn't about Joel. I feel like you're also distracted too about answering all these questions. Yeah, thanks for addressing my questions. I will devote the morning time. Appreciate that. Sounds good. Yeah, maybe it's the bleach hair, right? That is making me feel uncomfortable. Watch out for a potential bounce right around this area right here for ticker symbol Z. Shop is just struggling. If it gets rejected again by this area right here, I'll probably just sell and I'll buy the dip here. When it comes down to you guys, still showing kind of a horizontal pattern. You see that? It's not making higher highs or anything like that. So, but yeah. No, I think we're pretty good. Just like a couple things that like have been coming up with our work and a couple of projects that we have going on. We're meeting a lot with our. We're finishing up the application thanks to Mackenzie, the developer that we're partnered up with for you guys, right? So we're really excited about that. Just a couple different things of meeting up with like our CPA and the different projects that we have going on. Just some issues with that and stuff. So everything with trading, I just need to, I think like go to bed early or something like that. I'm not too sure, but yeah, no, it's been good. You fried your brain cells when you dyed your hair. Crack me up, Acacia. Alrighty. No, he's not part of TechBuds. No. Let's see. All right. But yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date. We're right around that 1 hour mark. We're a little bit over 45 minutes for when it comes down to this trading. There's a lot of stocks that are actively trading up. A lot of them are a little bit more on the overbought side. So that's something that I'm not finding too attractive, but we'll definitely have to make it work. So I definitely don't want to force an entry. I think we have a pretty. I'm going to look at the 180-day analysis, and I'm going to start to cherry pick the ones that are actively trending up, that are showing signs of an uptrend, that have sold off a little bit, to try to focus on those that are a little bit better deals. So yeah, I think that's pretty much going to be the plan for today. And then I'll see if I can lock in profits on this, and then kind of go from there. So. All right. But that is pretty much it. So I really do appreciate your guys' time. I know today the only thing that I did was cut losses on you guys, and I'm up on my position on shop. So I want to congratulate to all those that have been doing extremely well by focusing on what's been actively trending up. I'm super happy to. It's kind of like weight off my shoulders that I'm out of you guys now, just based on the trade that I took yesterday. And now I could focus more on what's actively trending up and focus more on uptrend patterns. So doing a little bit of a better job focusing on that. So thank you guys again so much for your time. If there's anything that I can do to better assist you, please just, again, give me about 2 to 3 hours to catch up on all my current direct messages. And then I would be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys might have after I fulfill the first couple of messages. So yeah, that's really just it. So thank you guys again so much. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives you in your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.